electrons only. How we are going to use these electrons? Okay, so these electrons can be manipulated in a number of ways. For example, I'll say some scenarios, please visualize them. Okay, you have electron in a particular place. Assume we take a spherical jar, and inside the spherical jar, you are going to drop a lot of electrons. So what will happen? The jar will contain lot of electrons, and jar becomes negatively charged. Correct? The jar consists of lot of electrons, and the jar becomes negatively charged. Okay. So when electrons are present in a particular place, that place becomes negatively charged. And if you start removing electrons from the jar one by one, that jar slowly becomes positively charged because I'm removing electrons from the jar one by one. So the jar slowly becomes positively charged, correct? So if the electrons are there in one place, that place is going to be negatively charged. And if slowly electrons are going to be removed from that place is going to be positively charged. So be clear on this first concept. Okay. Second concept, when electrons are going to move, when electrons are going to move inside a metal or they're going to move inside a wire, that is going to constitute a current. So movement of electrons creates current. Of course, electrons are negatively charged particles, right? So movement of electrons create current. And the direction of current, what we assume, is opposite to the direction of flow of electrons. Because electrons are negatively charged particles, the direction of current, what we assume, is going to be opposite to the direction of flow of electrons. And as electrons are negatively charged particles, they always get attracted towards positive charged materials. They always flow towards the positive charge. Okay. And when electron is going to move, we are going to have the current. And there is another particle called hole, HOLE, which represents absence of electron. And hole is actually not a physical particle which you can see. Hole is created when there is no electron in that place. And hole is a positive charge, whereas electron is a negative charge. So when electron will always move towards positive materials, this hole will always move towards the negative materials. It is completely opposite to that of your electrons. So our electronics fully deals with electrons and holes. How we are going to regulate the flow of current because of electron, and how we are going to regulate the current which is going to happen because of holes. Is that clear? So if you understand these two things, electronics is completely over. So we have seen two concepts now. When electron is static, an electron is present in a particular place, that place becomes negatively charged. We technically call that as voltage, negative voltage. When electron is stationary, when electron is not moving, you get voltage, negative voltage. You're able to understand? When electron is slowly, it is going to move from one place to another place, you are going to get current. So these two, if you are very clear, then electronics is going to be absolute fun for you. Okay, so I already you are able to see my screen. We'll slowly go into the concepts of electronics. So in electronics, we have materials. There are a lot of materials available. We have one such material is going to be called as a conductor. So you should be knowing what is a conductor. So a conductor is going to be a material which is going to allow the free movement of electrons. That is going to be a conductor. So in conductor, the electrons are abundant in number. They are ready to move. So usually for electron to move, you have to provide some energy. Only then electrons can move, right? But in conductor, the electrons are abundant in number. And what happens, even with the slightest energy you give, these electrons are excited and they start moving inside the conductor, leading to what is called as current. I told you electrons in motion will lead to current. Clear? Unless you give energy, the electrons are in one particular place. As you supply energy, the electrons will acquire these energy and they will start moving inside the conductor, constituting to what is called as your current. Okay. So in conductors, if you see, the electrons are very loose, they have a very loose grip, and they can move very freely. And the example for good conductors are going to be metals, gold, aluminum, silver, copper. All metals are very good conductors because the electrons or free electrons are available in abundant numbers. And you can easily make them move and get the required current what you want. So next one is exactly opposite to that of conductors, what is called as insulators. The insulators are opposite. The electrons are not available and the electrons are tightly bound. So, and the electrons are tightly bound. How much ever energy you supply, these electrons cannot come out. It is very difficult to pull out the electrons and then form current in an insulator. Is that clear? So, conductor and insulator are antonyms. I hope you know the meaning of the word antonyms. Antonyms means opposites. The conductor will have huge number of free electrons to readily move, but insulators are the exactly opposite. They don't have free electrons because they hold the electrons very tight, or the bonding between the electrons and the other electrons are going to be very, very tight. So, how much ever energy you supply, these electrons cannot break the bond, come out, and cause flow of current. So, example for insulators, you see, you have glass, wood, plastic, mica, air, or very good insulators. So, you take glass, you give voltage, there will be no current because you cannot free the electrons and constitute the current. Okay. And for electron to move, it has to, there should be a force. So that move force is called as your electromotive force. So higher the electromotive force, the electrons will move very fast. Lower the electromotive force, the electrons movement will be very, very slow. Okay. So it is similar to the pressure which you apply. Okay, so if the force is going to be more, means electrons are going to travel in a much faster terminal, faster way. Okay, so next one is an voltage source. The voltage source, you know, it is going to have two terminals, positive and negative. Any voltage source will have two terminals, positive and negative. The positive term, you could have seen all our batteries in your car. So those are going to be your voltage. So they are going to provide a fixed amount of voltage. And remember, all the voltage sources are going to be DC. You know what is meant by DC and AC? Can anybody say what is meant by DC and AC? Can somebody unmute and say what is DC and AC?
The
DC is
current is
direct
steady
current
in
and
DC, sir.
Direct current and alternating current.
Okay, direct current and alternating current. Okay, I'll pick one of you to answer because if everybody unmutes, it's not going to be clear. So I'll pick one of you to answer. Bharat M is there. Bharat M, please unmute yourself. You are there. Bharat M, you're able to hear me? I Bharat, you're there. Okay. Yes, I am not able to hear you, Bharat. What is DC and AC? Can you say what is DC and AC? Okay, anyone else? Anyone immediately unmute and speak? One of you.
Sir,
Sir,
AC is
DC.
automatically current which changes
Ganeshan,
periodically.
Ganeshan. Yes, Ganeshan, please unmute and speak. Others can
Yes,
mute Ganeshan. Yes.
yes, sir. DC has a steady flow of current, sir.
Okay. Okay.
And
What is the
and
expansion
whereas
of DC? Expansion of DC?
direct current.
Very good. DC is direct current. Good. AC?
AC is alternating current in which the polarity of the current changes, sir, with time.
Okay. In DC, it is going to be constant, correct?
Yes, sir. Polarity remains constant throughout the time.
Okay. Can you say example for DC? Can some example for DC?
Um.
The
Uh.
slide, yeah. The slide which you see, there is a car battery, right? You are
Yes,
able
sir.
to see the car battery which I am highlighting now. That is
Yes,
going
sir.
to be your DC. So it is going to
Okay.
give out the constant. You can unmute yourself. You can mute yourself, Ganeshan. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
So the car battery, which I am highlighting here, it is going to provide a constant 12 volt DC. DC means it is going to be 12 volt always. You switch on, it is 12 volt. You switch off, it is 12 volt. Again, you switch on, it is 12 volt. It is 12 volt always. And the battery which you use for your clock, you everybody has wall clock in your house, right? And that needs some battery for functioning. That battery is also DC. It is going to provide 1.5 volt DC. Okay, so those are the examples for DC voltage source. And I hope everybody has, you should have heard of inverters, correct? Everybody should have inverters in your house. Anybody knows about inverters?
Yes, sir.
Inverters. Anybody has inverter at your house?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Harshvardhan, Harshvardhan, you are there.
Sir, I can't see the screen, sir.
You can't see the screen now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Harshvardhan, you are there.
I'm here, sir.
Yes. Have you heard of inverters?
Yes, sir.
Can you say what does an inverter do? Generally, what does an inverter do in your house?
Sir, it converts AC into DC, sir.
No, I am asking generally. I don't want the technical. I assume that I don't know anything. How will you say inverter to me?
It saves
Technical
current.
aspects, leave the technical aspects. Say what does an inverter do? Simply.
It stores current.
When your main supply is switched off, what will happen?
Sir, it provides current, sir.
It provides, the inverter is going to provide current. Is everyone okay with that? And how inverter is able to provide current when there is no supply to your house?
So it stores current before when there
Yes,
is
when
current.
the power supply is there, it draws some current from the power supply and stores it in the battery. Everybody will be having a huge battery in your house with the inverter kit, right? That battery is going to store all your current in the form of what? Battery stores everything in the form of what?
Chemical energy.
What does battery store?
DC, sir. DC current.
Battery stores your whenever your power supply is going to be
So you're
off.
strict, sir.
Now it's fine. I am experiencing net connection. Now it's fine.
Now it's fine, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Whenever you're
Yes, sir.
okay. Whenever your supply is going to be off, your inverter will provide current because charge is stored inside the battery in the form of voltage. That voltage will give rise to current. Okay, so that is how you are going to get a DC source. And example for AC source is going to be your power supply. So you plug in your socket, right? So that main will get 230 volt AC. And as your friend said, AC is going to be alternating current. It is going to vary in an alternate way. One full cycle you will be positive. One full cycle it is going to be negative. A typical example of alternating current is going to be your sinusoidal wave. I hope everybody knows the sine wave, right? So one full cycle it's going to be positive, and one full cycle it's going to be negative. So that's the perfect example of your AC current. Okay. And what is the frequency which we use in India along with AC? 230 volt.
hertz.
What
50
along
hertz.
with that? What do we say?
50
50
hertz.
hertz.
220 to
Very good.
240.
And what is the 50 hertz? Yes, 50 hertz is correct answer. And what does the 50 hertz indicate? What does the 50 hertz indicate?
50 cycles per
Anybody
second.
Frequency.
say what is yes,
Sir,
it
25
is
cycles.
50 cycles per second. So your sine wave is going to oscillate in that fashion. And 230 volt is the amplitude of your sine wave. Is that clear? That is the example of your AC. See, all your power stations, they generate AC. Okay. But whenever you're going to store a charge in a battery, you have to convert it into DC. Please be very clear on that. Because you cannot store AC voltage inside a battery. A battery can store only a voltage in the form of DC and not AC. invariably, even if I ask you in the night, what does the battery store? You should say it stores DC voltage and not AC voltage. Are we clear on that? Because your battery can store something which is constant. It cannot store something which is varying, because alternating current is going to vary every second. You cannot store that voltage inside the battery. So a battery can store only direct current, or it can store only DC voltage. Is that clear? So current, the next one, current is the flow of electrons, and whatever current we are going to mark in our circuits, it is going to be the flow of electron, but actual current is in the opposite direction. Can anybody see? Can we all see electrons? Can we all see electrons?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Can we see
No, sir.
electrons? Why we
No,
cannot
sir.
see electrons? What is the reason?
It's microscopic, sir.
I want the reason.
It's very small,
Okay, in
so we
other
can't
words-
see it with the
In
naked
other
eyes.
words,
Microscopic.
your eye has a your eyes have a lens, right? So can't you zoom and see?
Sorry, sir.
You are able to get my query? Your eye has a lens which has a zoom option enabled. So what is the issue in not seeing the electron? Yes, as you said, electron is microscopic, and your eye cannot see certain object beyond a particular limit. You are okay?
Sir, your voice is repeating again, sir. Like it's echoing.
I think there is some issue with the net connection. It is on and off. The power has gone here.
No, it's fine, sir.
Now it's fine.
No, it's fine, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So current is the flow of electrons, and actual direction is the flow of holes. I told you what is meant by hole, right? So hole is a charge which is opposite of electron. But whatever current we are actual direction of current is going to be the opposite direction of the flow of electrons. Be clear on that. Okay. And there is something called as resistance. You should have studied about resistance. What is a resistance? What is a resistance? Can someone volunteer?
Ability to resist the flow of current.
So which opposes the current, sir?
Okay, I see. I understand you people are technically brilliant, technically sound, but assume that you are explaining something to a layman who doesn't know anything. How will you explain that in a very simple term? See, ultimately, we after 4 years of graduation, you become engineers. Okay,
Sir, can I?
and you are going to develop many products which are going. One second. Let
Sir?
me complete, and I'll come back to you. Yes, Ganeshan. 1 second. Let me complete my point, and I'll call you again. Yeah. See, when we are going to develop a lot of products as engineers, we have to be explaining our products in a very simple term to layman. And the layman, like farmers and other people, they will not understand your technical details. So you have to explain them in a very basic term. So can someone explain me what is a resistance in a very basic term? Yes, Ganesh.
Can I? So assume that
Yeah.
a pipe is a conductor and the water has electron.
Okay, again, you are becoming too technical. Okay,
Sir?
go ahead. Yeah, you go ahead.
Sir,
Sir, if we adjust the
Go
wall,
ahead.
To resist the flow of current.
yes, sir. If we adjust the wall, we control
Just
the
a
flow of
second. Yeah.
water, sir. So
Okay.
that is what the resistance means, sir. By
Okay,
adjusting the wall,
fine. Thank
we
you.
adjust the flow of electron. Okay, sir.
Good attempt. Anybody else? Even more
So something
basic.
which reduces
Even more basic.
Sir, the ability to resist the flow of current. sir.
Aditya, please. Aditya alone. Others mute.
Yes, sir.
I'll call you.
Yes, sir.
Aditya? Yeah.
The ability
You're
of
about to
any
say
object,
something.
sir. The ability of yes, sir. The ability of any object to resist the flow of current, sir. Resistance, a characteristic, sir.
Okay,
Characteristic of an
okay.
object.
I'll ask you a question. I'll ask you a question. Just answer me, okay?
Yes, sir.
Somebody comes and somebody is coming near you and he is going to hit you. What will you do?
Block, sir.
Sir, I will.
That
Yes, sir. I
is
will resist him,
resistance.
sir.
That is resistance.
Yeah.
Is it clear? You are going to resist his force, right? So that is resistance. Very simple. So if some object is going to oppose the flow of current, or it is going to restrict the flow of current, or it is going to stop the flow of current, it is going to be resistance. Very simple. Okay. So assume in circuits, many circuits where actual current flowing is very high, but I want to reduce the flow of current, then the resistance is going to do that job for me. Okay, so that is called as resistance. So definition is given here is the ability to oppose current, and resistance is given in ohms. So higher the value of resistance, the more opposition it can provide, and the less current is going to flow into your circuit. Okay, so that is going to be resistance. And this one we have seen, your atom structure, we have seen positively charged nucleus. Electrons are orbiting around the nucleus, and if I can pull one electron outside, that free electron, when it is going to move, it is going to be constituting my current. And this free electron will always go towards the positive terminal of my battery because electrons are attracted towards positive potential. Okay, this diagram, yes, and this one is very simple. I am going to glow a bulb by connecting it to a battery. So you see the first diagram, I connect the bulb correctly to the positive and negative ends of battery. The bulb is glowing perfectly. And you are very happy the bulb is glowing. And assume that because of the heavy rains in the past 2 days, the wire has worn out. And the plastic around the wire has come out. And you can physically see the metal wires. And these two wires are touching. So when two metal wires touch, you get shock. Correct? You get shock. And what happens in shock? When two wires touch, you get a sudden spark. And because of that spark, that bulb gets damaged. Okay, this bulb gets damaged. And you have a lot of rats in your house. And a rat is going to bite one of the wires. And see, one wire is intact, and the wire which I show here is got bitten by a rat. And this bulb is not glowing. So you are able to analyze the three scenarios here. You are able to understand the three scenarios here. Aravind, you are there?
Yes, sir.
Aravind? Yes, can you explain me what I am coming to say here? Aravind Gautam? Yeah.
Sir, the circuit is complete means the bulb will blow, sir.
That is the first case, correct?
In second case,
Yeah,
the
second
circuit
case,
is not complete.
circuit is not complete. The circuit is second case, the circuit is complete. The wires are not broken, right? The circuit is complete, right? The circuit is complete, but what is the issue with the circuit in the second case?
The two wires will.
The wires are touching, giving rise to spark, correct? So the circuit is working fine because you get a spark. So that condition is called as short circuit. Have you come across this term short circuit anywhere, students?
Yes,
have you come
sir,
across
in
short
house.
circuit? What is meant by short circuit? What is meant by short circuit? What happens because of short circuit? I'll put the question this way. What happens because of short circuit?
So the fuse will get the spark is created, sir.
So the object gets damaged.
The object gets
fuse.
damaged. Very good.
The insulation
Yes.
wears off.
Yes,
The
yes.
wire insulation wears off.
The insulation wires
blink.
are out. Bulb will blink for some time and it will be off permanently. The fuse is
Maximum there'll
on.
be a fire because of overheat.
Very good. Because of fire, you will have a Diwali effect in your house because of short circuit. Fire will be there, and ultimately the component gets damaged. Yes, that is the end. That is the effect of short circuit. The component gets damaged. Correct. And why is the component getting damaged? That is my question. Don't say it is because of short circuit. What is the technical reason for the component getting damaged?
Excessive
Over,
current passes through.
over current has
Large amount of
Yes.
large
Yes.
amount of
Very
current
good.
passes.
So you have
Due to
excessive current
overloading, sir.
flow happening inside the device. So remember,
More
when
than
you are
needed.
going to have a short circuit, you are going to have excessive current flowing through your device. You have two parameters, current and voltage, correct? In short circuit, you remember, current is maximum, voltage is zero. So when high current flows through your TV or AC or your mixie or grinder, that device becomes damaged permanently. So you have to repair your device to make it normally work again. That is your case B, what you are seeing now. That is your case B, which I am highlighting now. Because of short circuit, the device is going to fail permanently. And what is case C? The rat has bitten a wire. I told you the story. The rat has bitten a wire. Will there be any current flow here?
It's an open circuit.
Becomes open circuit.
Open and can flow in an open circuit.
So incomplete circuit.
Current is incomplete, right? The circuit is incomplete, so the current cannot flow. Is it correct?
Sir, air is an insulator, sir.
The current will
Yes,
flow, sir,
very
but the
good.
wire
Air is an
will.
insulator, so even though the wire is touching your air, the air is not going to conduct. Okay. So the third case is open circuit where there is no current flow. So short circuit or open are not
Open circuit.
And open circuit,
Open,
sir.
open, open circuit.
open circuit is safe because
The device is
because
not getting damaged in open
Current does
circuit.
not flow.
No after
yes, in open circuit the device is not getting damaged because no current flow happens. So in short circuit, what did I say? Current is maximum, voltage is zero. What is the happening in open circuit? Reverse. What is the reverse?
Voltage is
Reverse of that.
Voltage.
Voltage
Current
is
is
going
zero
to be
voltage,
maximum, current is going to be zero.
zero.
You're able to understand. See, we will be using this open circuit and short circuit conditions in our circuits very often. So whenever you come across this term short circuit, you should clearly have what thing in mind. In short circuit, current is going to be my dominating factor. When I'm going to say open circuit, in open circuit, voltage is going to be my dominating factor. In open circuit, if somebody asks you measure current in open circuit, what will be your answer? What is
Zero,
the,
sir.
if somebody asks you to measure current in open circuit, what will be your answer?
Zero.
Zero, sir. No, no
You
current.
should close your
No
eyes
current.
and say it is going to be zero. And the same thing in short circuit, whenever somebody asks you what is the value of voltage, you should say voltage will be zero in a short circuit.
Zero.
Is these two concepts clear? So invariably in all our circuits, what we are going to see in BW, we are going to use the concept of OC and SC very frequently. So at that time, you should not think what is the condition for OC and SC. You should clearly what should spark your mind is open circuit condition, no current, short circuit condition, no voltage. Okay, so we'll go to the next one. And this is a very famous law, Ohm's law, which you all know. Oh, the equation for Ohm's law is V is equal to IR. And Ohm's law states that as voltage is proportional to current. So as voltage increases, your current is going to increase. So the proportionality constant is going to be called as your resistance. And we have seen what is resistance. Resistance is the ability to oppose or stop current. And V is equal to IR is one form. I is equal to V by R is another form. R is equal to V by R is the third form. So these are going to be the three forms of Ohm's law. So whichever, since you have three quantities here, so whichever two quantities are given, you can find out the third quantity by rearranging and getting this equation. And is Ohm's law applicable always? Can I apply Ohm's law everywhere?
Not applicable
sir.
to
No, sir.
semiconductors.
No, sir.
Okay. Ohm's law has its own limitation. First one, Ohm's law is not applicable to semiconductors. Then one more limitation of Ohm's law you have. Anybody could recollect?
Constant temperature.
Who said that?
So
Who
Shri
said that?
Varshini, sir.
Very good, very good. Ohm's law will work only at constant temperature. So if you are going to place your resistor in Thar desert, it will not work because the temperature is varying, right? If you are going to place a resistor inside the deep ocean, it will not work properly because the temperature is very cool there. So the Ohm's law will work only in environments where the temperature is going to be constant. Will it work inside your house? Will Ohm's law work inside your house?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Will Ohm's law work inside your house?
Yes, sir.
No, immediately.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Ohm's law will work inside your house. That means the temperature inside your house is constant. So what is that value of constant temperature? So what is the room temperature? Standard value of room temperature.
36.
25.
25
degrees Celsius.
27.
25 or 27?
27, sir.
27 degrees Celsius is considered as the standard room temperature all over the world. It is 27, I'm sure on that. And if you convert that into Kelvin, you get 300 Kelvin. So that is going to be the room temperature, which is at constant room temperature, your Ohm's law is going to work. So V is proportional to I, that constant is going to be R. And as Sri Varshini said, Ohm's law is invalid for semiconductors and non-linear devices. So devices which are having non-linear behavior, you cannot verify Ohm's law there. If you try to verify Ohm's law there, Ohm's law is going to fail miserably. Is the conclusion on Ohm's law clear? So Ohm's law also we'll be studying that in BW. We'll solve problems based on Ohm's law. And Ohm's law laid the foundation for your circuits. So once Ohm's law was discovered, it helped in finding out the voltage across a device, current across a device. So that made things very simple, and you can understand the circuit better if you know everything in terms of voltage and current. And since Ohm's law links voltage and current, this became very popular in solving electronic circuits. So any circuits involving resistors and involving voltage source, involving current source, we are going to have. If you apply Ohm's law, you can get a better understanding of that particular circuit. And this slide, you see, as I told you, right, you have three variables there, and if you know any two, you
Sir,
can find out. Yeah.
sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Yes.
We have used V is equal to IR Ohm's law, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Whether it's applicable in open circuit?
In yes. What is the open circuit condition I said?
Voltage is maximum, sir.
V is equal to IR, correct? So at open circuit, what is your current?
Current is 0, sir. So then the Ohm's law is violated, sir.
Ohm's law is?
Violated, sir. See, it's not equal, sir. Voltage is maximum, and if 0 into anything, it should be 0 less, sir.
No. That's what. In open circuit, current is 0, correct? You are agreeing
Yes,
that
sir.
current is 0?
Yes, sir. Definitely.
When can current be 0?
Oh, resistance in infinite. Yeah. Okay, sir.
Okay. 0 into infinity
Okay.
is it
Yes,
will
sir.
become
Okay, yeah,
indeterminate form. If you
Yes,
solve it, the answer becomes finite. That is the beauty of Ohm's law. You're able to get it?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Thanks for the question. It was a good question indeed. Yes, these types of questions you should get when we solve networks. It will be very helpful if you ask a lot of questions. It will be helpful for your understanding also. And these three cases are very simple. As I told you, two things are given to you and one unknown thing you are going to find. So first case, you see current and resistance is given. You can multiply, you get voltage. Second case, you see voltage and resistance given. If you divide, you get current. Last case, voltage and current are given. If you divide, you get the resistance. So application of Ohm's law is either you given any two parameters, you can find the third one just by rearranging the terminals. And any doubts you have so far? This now the last 7 minutes we are going to have Q&A, question and answer session. So I'm going to stop my screen. So any doubts you have, you can ask. I'll be very happy to discuss with all of us. Even if it is a basic doubt, please ask. Only when you ask more number of doubts, you will be getting the subject very
Sir,
easily.
what
You will
is mean
understand
by
the
non-linear devices, sir?
non-linear devices. Okay. I'll say an example. Just see if you're able to understand. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Assume you have a box, and that box has one input, one output. That you don't know what is inside that box. So the box has two wires. One wire should be input and one wire should be output. Are you following? Now you are clear with the box, and
Okay, sir.
now you understand. I give input as 1 to the box, and I get output as 2. Input is 1, output is 2. First condition, is it clear? Second condition, I'm going to give the input as 2 to the box, and I get output as 4. Third case, I'm going to give the input as 3 to the box, I get the output as 6. With these three scenarios, can you say whether the device is linear or not? If I give 1, I get 2. If I give 2, I get 4. If I give 3, I get 6.
Yes,
So what
sir.
does this mean?
Linear.
What does this mean?
The graph is
The
linear.
ratio is same, right? 2 by 1 is same, 4 by 2
Yes,
is
sir.
same, 6 by 3 is same. Non-linear means you will not get the ratio same. If I give first case is same. If I give 1, I get 2. If I give 2, I should get 4, but I will get 5. So that is non-linear.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
We will be seeing about non-linear circuits mostly in BW. So don't worry. When you see non-linear circuits, you'll understand that very better. Any other questions from anybody? Any other questions from anyone? Please free to ask questions.
Sir.
Yeah.
So why we consider a direction of electron? Why we consider a direction of current is converse to the direction of electrons, sir?
The electron is what to say? Among electron and hole, electron is widely observed and recognized particles, right? So, and all theories are based on electrons, correct? So, all the wave theory,
Yes,
all the motion theory, everything is based on electrons. So, it is very easy for us to relate something to electron than to a hole. So, we'll find the direction of current using electron, and the opposite one is going to be simple, right? So, that is why we consider it that way.
As you said, electrons is very good. So why don't we consider the direction of electron itself as a direction of current? Oh.
See, actually, when you are connecting, you take an example of a torch. You have a torch, okay,
yes,
and you are going to insert a battery into your torch.
Okay,
and
sir.
if you just turn on the button, your torch will glow. Correct?
Yes, sir.
How is the torch glowing? How is the torch glowing?
It gets the voltage support. After that, the torch glows. Sir.
Your battery is going
the electrons get emitted in the LED bulb, sir.
Okay.
And because of the emission, the energy releases as a light energy.
Okay. See, I'll explain it. You may see if you're understanding that or not. See, inside the torch, you have a battery, and battery is having voltage, correct?
Yes, sir.
And unless you turn on the battery will not supply the voltage. It will be off. So when you turn on the button,
Yes.
the battery is going to provide the voltage, and all the electrons inside the wire, which are free electrons, will be attracted towards the battery. Electrons are supposed to, correct?
So sorry, sir.
No, electrons are negatively charged, and battery, you have plus and minus. Electrons will be attracted towards the plus terminal only, correct?
Yes, sir.
And electrons are flowing towards the battery. You are able to visualize that electrons will flow towards the battery.
Yes, sir.
But actually what happens, battery is applying the necessary current for functioning of the torch light. So actually current is coming from where? Current is actually flowing from the battery towards the outside. But how the electrons are flowing? Electrons are flowing towards the positive end of your battery. The direction
Yes,
is
sir.
opposite, right?
Yes, sir.
Magnitude is
instead,
exactly same. The direction is going to be opposite. That's the only difference. You need
sir,
not
Okay,
to
sir.
instead
read
we
for
can
that.
apply Einstein's theory, sir.
Yes, you explained that Einstein theory. Yeah.
No, sir, the Einstein theory is something that there will be an external current, or current is defined as some external force which will
Yes.
oppose the flow of electron. So while opposing the flow of electron, there will be an energy emitted, and he named it as a current. So instead we can, so only from that we can conclude that current will be flowing in the opposite direction of an electron, right?
Yes. Yes. That the aspect of explanation is also correct. Whenever something flows, you will always have an opposing force, correct?
Yeah.
So the opposing
So,
force is because of the holes.
so when the velocity of the electron increases, the mass will also be increased. So that was
Yes.
Einstein's theory. So we
Yes.
can,
Yes. Yes.
in simple words, we can tell that. Right?
Yes. Correct. Yes. That's also correct. Anything else you want to discuss?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, in the case of Ohm's law,
Yeah.
Ganesh said no, sir. V squared IR in the open circuit, current is 0, then voltage
Yeah.
also 0.
Yeah.
You said V no, sir.
Yeah.
That repeat, sir. That one.
Yeah. V is equal to IR. That is Ohm's law, right? In open circuit, what happens? Current is 0. So correct.
Yes,
The
sir.
I is equal to 0. If you put I is equal to 0 blindly in that equation, you will get V is equal to 0. Correct?
Yes. Yes, sir.
But our observation is in open circuit, current is 0, but voltage is maximum. Correct? There is a contradiction, right? Equation padi, we
Yes,
are
sir.
getting V is equal to 0, but logically, if we calculate, we get V is not equal to 0. How is that possible? That explanation is current is 0 means the resistance is infinity. Resistance is very, very high. So as a very high resistance, you can take R is equal to infinity. Correct? So substitute R is equal to infinity and I is equal to 0 in that equation. V is equal to 0 into infinity. What is 0 into infinity?
Infinity. Infinity.
Infinity. No, 0 into infinity is not infinity.
0.
It is not 0. It is not 1.
1.
It is having a finite value.
Finite.
Undefined.
You
Undefined
cannot.
value, sir.
Indefinite, sir.
Undefined
Undefined.
value.
Undefined means for the present combination of 0 into infinity, you cannot find. If you are given an expression where it is 0 into infinity, you can find the value by L'Hospital's rule. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So
Some
that is what.
limit
If you
of
substitute
some
and
limit
find
of
using L'Hospital's rule, the value of V will be finite. If you
We get
just
any
say
number from
0
1,
into
sir.
infinity, it will not be 1. It can be any number. It can be positive,
Yes,
negative.
sir.
It can even be 0. It can be any number.
Real number range.
Real number, yes, voltage is real number. Depending on the circuit, if your circuit has complex parameters, V can be complex also. That possibility is also there. Need not be real, it can be imaginary also. Okay, students, I think we are running out of time. I think you have session again at 12:30. So you write all your doubts and we'll whenever we meet again, we'll again clarify everything. So I want to conclude this class. One thing, have a happy learning, and only when you ask more and more doubts, you can learn more and more effectively.